And then there were 3. Hey all, it's Nitro Nerds here. This is the 3rd item in the top 5 items I've found to be most true in this Nitro RC hobby that we all love. Now, I can tell you I am no expert. This video is intended for my fellow newbies out there, so you get an idea of what to expect. You can agree, disagree, it doesn't matter, but the one thing I'm going to give you
is that real shit.
Now, what is that, you might ask? Soon you will see, when I do my faker's roll call, exactly the delineation between people who are only good at spewing that yin-yang of make-believe stuff versus those who
are really putting it down.
Now, to quickly recap, the 5th thing that I found is you have to have heart in this hobby. You have to be tenacious. It will humble you. You will start off and be unsuccessful at it. But just like they told me, that's what separates those who are really doing it, those who are helping, adding value, versus those who are
acting like straight bitches. You know who? Rolex, Neon, Grey Wolf, S-Certified, all the bitches.
And then the 4th thing is be real to yourself, because you're going to get pulled in a lot of directions, and at the end of the day, you're the one spending your time and your money, so do what you want to do and join our little movement of those who are doing it. So the 3rd thing that I've learned about this hobby is that while yes, we all want our vehicles to look slick, right? I mean, that's just part of the game, in my opinion.
We want our vehicles to look fly.
But there's different ways to clean it. There's for looks and for real.
Truth be told, there's nothing worse than a dirty-ass RC vehicle, in my opinion.
I know when I was younger, shit, Friday night,
full-scale cars.
Before, the weekend, get my vehicle, clean it up, get it, looking as best as it can, and then we went out and we rolled. Now understand, you have clean and you have
clean.
What I suggest you do is determine why it is you want to have your vehicle
clean.
As an example, is it to take pretty pictures with it? Is it to have it as a conversation piece? Or is it
to get down?
So with all that, the number 3 thing that I've learned is not necessarily to just clean your vehicles, but assuming you like to do the latter, which is get busy, then clean your vehicles
with intent.
Now, what I mean by cleaning with intent is that your goal is to clean the vehicle so that it affects performance. A year, maybe 2 years ago, I did an interesting test where I actually weighed my vehicle before I took it to the track and after I got home. The only difference was it had some mud and dirt and everything caked on it. And I forget the amount, but it was close to it.
Damn pound. A pound, people.
Now, one of the biggest video requests that I get is to do a cleaning video. I have a whack ass one I did years ago. And I'll probably do a part 2 or the sequel, some BS like that. But here's what I can tell you for sure. When I say clean with intent, again, it is how the vehicle performs. Some tips that I can give you just at a high level: divide the vehicle into 3 pieces. You got the front, the center, and the rear. Take notes of things that you're going to replace, that you'll need to replace, okay? So that's different than, what you know you're going to rebuild. Using the correct products is also imperative. I've seen videos where people have jacked up their pipes and their crankcases and things like that by soaking it in material where, obviously they shouldn't have, but it's lesson learned. Again, so learn what you can about the materials, test it out for yourself, and then you'll pick up tricks as you go along. So when I do this video, I'll show you some things I do, like cleaning behind the pinion gears on a diff house. Let me show you what I mean. You can see here inside of this diff house right here, the pinion gear, which is used to mesh with a ring gear. Now, taking a look independently at this pinion gear, I can tell you from hands-on experience, it is one of the more susceptible objects on an RC vehicle to mess your shit up. How about that? In other words, on the back of the teeth in that area there, which rubs either against a shim or the housing itself, a bearing shim, who knows? They're all different types, but my point is that gets either caked up with some kind of grease or mud or even scratched up. It's going to wreak havoc because it's going to prevent you from having a ride that's
Smooth.
Think of it in terms of this. You'll see vehicles that are clean and they put it down. You'll see vehicles that are clean but are kind of a joke. What you won't see is a vehicle that gets busy, but it's filthy. So the idea behind cleaning your vehicle, again, what I've learned, and in my opinion, is it's going to look nice. That's a bonus, right? That's a latent effect. But you get in there, you got to take it all apart and clean, thinking the whole time how it's going to affect that performance. So while I'm not into my shelf queens, I think that this cleaning video has kind of moved up in priority because I got 100 stories for you on how to truly clean with intent. All right, little bonus tip, if you will. So as you're going through putting your vehicles together or maintaining them, whatever, try to understand different concepts. And one of those is there is a huge difference between a component or a concept that is working correctly versus one that is set up correctly. Okay, so let me give give you an explicit example. Here what I'm doing is I just put on the center differential. Now, the only thing that I can control right now is whether or not it's working properly. I can't deduce if it's set up correctly until I actually go out and drive it. So, as an example, it might be properly set up for on-road, okay, and that's how it handles. You know, it's optimized when it can get a lot of grip and really get some
Bite off the line.
Again, I won't know until I take it out. But what I can control is whether or not it's working correctly. So individually, I'll test it as I go along. So here what I'm doing is seeing, is it smooth, you know? I'm not really concerned again with the amount of torque, but is there anything during its revolution, you can see I'm turning it here, that where maybe it's grinding or something like that, okay? So you just want to make sure everything is fine. And I tell you what, this is, I don't even feel it as I'm doing this. So this is really good. This is